Alright, today we got a Samsung dryer, not getting hot, everything comes on and runs. But when it runs, it just doesn't get hot. So we'll need to strip it all down, check the heating element, and see what else we can find. So we're gonna unplug it. Take out the screws that are already kind of hanging out here. And then this piece kind of just held on here, so it's already broke once. Just wiggle it. Boom. Get these little clips you gotta undo. And take out the screw, which is missing. And these screws also missing. And then these two right here. Once you got all these out, gonna kind of lift up one a little bit. And come right here and pull this plug that way. It's the door switch. And we got that. We'll have to take this bracket off, or this is your bulkhead, but take both these off. You're gonna do that by taking out the screws up here, 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 there, there. Unhook this. That screw, you unhook this too. Here, here. Alright, got all those screws out. This piece is in little grooves here, but you just kind of give it a wiggle, come right on out. You want to take these little clips loose here. And then one over here. And there's that piece. And then we're going to take the wiring loose here. Get them on that clip. Now all those screws are out. This sits in these little grooves. You have to lift this up and out of the grooves. So, let's do a video of it. Now the bulkhead's clear. With the drum out, you have to take the belt off, which, see if I can just show you that. Here's the belt. What we're going to do is we're going to pull that pulley over the left, and then you can take it off the belt. Just like that. And this whole drum's coming right out. Alright, we got the drum out. We got our meter out. Set it to own continuity test. What you want to hear is a beep. That means it's good. So you're going to start. Start here at the heating element. We're going to check that. And look, first thing we check, heating element is bad. You can go ahead and check these. You touch both terminals, you should make a beep. It means you have continuity. So we need to change the heating element. Make sure all the wheels spin good. We'll want to clean all that up. Make sure all that's working. Same with the two that are on the bulkhead. So you want to make sure those are spinning good. If you have any noise, it's normally one of those four wheels or that idler pulley. Clearly someone's changed this heating element before because they didn't put that together right. So yeah, you'll grab a heating element. Okay, to change this, we're going to pull these wires off. Can't do it with the phone, so I'll have to turn the camera off, but then you'll just take the screws out of the thermostats so you don't have to take the wires off of them. And then we'll take this screw out here, and that'll lift the whole canister up and out, and then we can take the screws out along the canister. Alright, got all the thermostats off, the screws loose, got the wiring off, so we can actually just pull it out of the screw here. And you have to hold it. It also helps to clean these out. But then we're gonna take these screws out. This one's already missing. Quite a few missing screws. Don't know who worked on it before me. Missing that screws there, but take all those out. We're going to separate this piece. So now we got the heating element loose. Since it's separated, we'll have to bend. Here's that little tab that's bent downward. We'll have to straighten that out to slide these terminals through. Also, whenever you see a heating element that looks like this, we're going to have to talk to the customer about having their vents checked. You see how it's sort of melted all the way through. It's burnt and warped the thing. It should look a lot like that. Even when they're bad, they'll be a little discolored, but they won't be melted all the way through. So we'll bend this tab and take this out and clean out the thing and put the other heating element in. Kind of straighten that out. Just kind of pull it out from the other side. There's that. Clean that up. Take the new one. That's where it sits in there. We'll want to fish these terminals back through here. This one goes on top, and this one's going to go on bottom, and it'll bend one of the tabs so it doesn't come back out. So we got one bent on each side, doesn't pull out. Now I have to put the canister back together, which most of the time requires a little cut to your hand. You got to kind of get this to reline up with the holes. And then rarely are they both going to line up. You'll have to get one side in and kind of squeeze the other side. But we'll do this side first, and then I'll show you. Oh, also yours, if it was unworked on, these would have been bent over. So you have to bend them straight up to get it out. But this wasn't originally done by me, so I'll straighten that one out right there. Straighten that one out right there. Now we're going to take this. This piece is all bent, so we're going to straighten that up. Sorry for making you sick when watching the camera. So we're going to line all of that up. So we got these pieces lined up, got them coming through. You see that doesn't really line up, but this does. So we're going to put one screw in very lightly, not too tight. Get another screw ready to go. Can't do nothing one-handed. A little trickier. Come in here and you kind of move the heating element. You just gotta pull the heating element over and line these edges back up, which I'm gonna have to use both hands. So we got these side in. To get this side in, you'll see the heating element that always is inside. You see they don't line up. So you gotta have to squeeze that to line that up, and then squeeze the bottom in, and it'll all line up. But once again, can't show you that because you can't do it one-handed. Got that all lined up. You do want to bend these tabs right back over. Just go and fold them down. Just the way you would have found them if your dryer was new, but not so much in here. Now we're gonna get it back in the hole, push it to line up in a little groove. Make sure it's always sturdy in there. You don't want it wiggling out. Go ahead. In, we'll put the thermostats back on and put the wiring back on. Alright, now the heating element replacement is all done. Another very common issue is noise. It is almost always this pulley, but this one's in excellent condition. Probably has a bearing in it. It certainly does. This is the newer style one. They are nice enough to put a bearing in it, but not when it's new. And then these guys are always having issues. These are in great condition. We're going to take them off, clean the lint off of them. But if you're having a noise issue and not a heat issue, then this is where you go. You check these out, look for flat spots if it's thudding. Squeaking is normally locked up, so they won't spin good if it's a squeak. But yeah, and now we're gonna clean it all up, put it back together. I'm gonna take these off here. You kind of stick a needle nose up in there and kind of work them off out of the lip that they sit in. Remove the hair that's around them. Take that off. Clean this one a little bit. And then I don't ever put any grease or anything on these because I think that'll attract more dust and hair. Just get a paper towel, shine them up real nice and good. Get that all cleaned up. Just gonna slide this guy right back on. Hair I'm not seeing, because if it doesn't want to go on, there's normally a reason. There we go. To get this on, we're just going to give it a little push. Oh, there we go. Easy does it. Oh, you put a wheel on. Nice and clean. We'll do the same thing for those two, and then we'll put the drum on. I'll show you the trick to putting the belt on. Alright, so we wipe the dryer down on the inside. We've cleaned those. Now we're going to put the drum back in. It's easy if you just keep the belt around it. It's almost like a nice little handle. Get those wires out of the way. Use your nice little handle and walk it in there. When you get it in place, you want to sit on those rollers back there. So we got that on. So now the belt. It's going to be even trickier to show you how to put it on than it is to take it off. Do is you go down and around the motor pulley, which you can't really see, and then you got this end. This is easier with two hands, but as I've done it before, I can probably do it one-handed just to show you, because the camera's in the way of my other hand though. So basically what you got to do is you got to put the belt around the pulley, and then you use one hand to push this pulley this way. Then you take this side of the belt and come around that. And that pulls tension on. Now you got to make sure it is not wrapped in any way where it will break. So it's nice and flat with the groove side towards the motor and the groove side down towards the drum. So you just got that color up. That's what you want. Doesn't twist, doesn't turn. It's nice and flat all the way through. And now we're going to put our bulkhead on, this bracket on, put all the screws on, reconnect this. Alright, so we got this back on. You kind of got to get the wheels in place, which you can't see. And then you kind of got to lift one side up and hook it in. And then you come to the other side and make sure you get it hooked in here and there. And so now we're going to put our 5 screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll remount our wiring. Okay, So we got that all in. You got the wiring attached. When you go to put this on, I've seen a lot of people mess this up. There's a groove right here, and you can see it's bent, so I'm probably going to have to straighten it out from the last people that worked on it. That groove goes in here. And then over here on this side, you've got this little tab, which goes in here. And you got one on the top and bottom, so it's here and here. You know, you got one on both sides. You gotta get all those in place properly. I can't, most of you do that with one-handed. Okay, so as we see here, we got that in. Got to put in, got our screws in. There's actually two here, two here. I'm putting all the screws back in it. Even the ones that someone left out, I'm just fishing out extras out of the tool bag for all the screws that were missing. I'm gonna put all the screws back in it. We do need to still come over here and connect this wiring. Get it in between there. This just keeps it from rubbing on the drum. So you get it in there and put your little twisty over it. Same thing over here. Bada boom, bada boom. Ta-da. That's all in place. Here's your wiring for the control panel. I don't know if y'all saw it in the earlier spot, but this is also hooked up wrong. This is how it should look. If you saw it in the beginning, whoever worked on it didn't know what they're doing. Alright, so now we're going to put the front on, and I'll get some more screws out so they can run out. To do that, there's little hooks down in the bottom. You gotta get it hooked in. Just bring it up this way. Hook in your door switch. Get it in place. Now I'm gonna find some more screws, and we'll put all the screws in. Okay, so we got all that on. Get the screws installed. We reconnected our wires. To put this in, you got little holes. As I'm sure you can see these little pins. They all got to kind of line up. Ta-da! There's no actual screws that holds that in. It just kind of sits in place. And then we got, let's see, these go to the front and these go to the top. But before that, we're going to go ahead and test it.